Welcome everybody to the Great Lakes Professional Wrestling Showcase. I am your host, Preston Banks, and it's the countdown show to Capital Pro Wrestling's return to the Fledge in Lansing, Michigan on September 28th. We have some great highlights of the last 8 weeks of action that have taken place at the Fledge, and we're going to go right to the explosive finish of last week's episode.
Knows just what to do in any given situation, seemingly. It's very impressive. Oh, man. Oh, no! Oh, no! The ring
broke. 1, 2, 3.
It's going up. Oh, my gosh. Oh, no.
Sometimes you get a victory from the ring, and sometimes you get a victory that was just fortune. And for Josh Raymond, or Frogun rather, and not Josh Raymond. But there's your victor, the Frogun. Josh Raymond showing no quit, asking the Frogun to continue, but he's already been pinned. Unfortunately, the ring did not cooperate with him. Akeem Zayn is coming back into the ring, just abusing Josh Raymond. We need some officials out of here. This match is over. We're gonna need some officials, security, something.
As you can see, the Frogun took advantage of the mishap and scored the pinfall victory over Josh Raymond. And also, we had the Mad Dragon, Hakeem Zayn, getting involved after the bell, stomping away with the Frogun on Josh Raymond. You have to wonder, is there some sort of alliance developing between those two? But one thing is for sure, on September 28th, live at the Fledge, the Frogun is going to be back in action, and he will be taking on big-time Mikey Margugliak. He's coming all the way from Metropolis, Illinois, and it's going to be a massive showdown. It's going to be a big-time collision of big-time hair, big-time personalities, and big-time talent. And it's coming at you live September 28th.
The last time Capital Pro Wrestling threw down at the Fledge in Lansing, Michigan, Mikey Margugliak was nowhere to be found because he knew that the Frogun was in the house. Well, September 28th ain't gonna be no more running and hiding, no more ducking and dodging, because Mikey Margugliak, I'm here to tell you that the Frogun is coming to get you.
Over the past several episodes of the Great Lakes Professional Wrestling Showcase, there is one man who is rapidly ascending the ranks in Capital Pro Wrestling, and he is Caleb Stills. He's got the heart of a champion, and he's carving up the competition, night in, night out. Let's watch him here in action against Nick Zero.
Setting up. No, Caleb Stills powers out of that. Goes over, submission by Caleb Stills.
Wrenching on the neck.
Center of the ring. He has to tap. It's over.
Stills' victory over Nick Zero was impressive, but even more impressive was Stills' victory over the master of the powerbomb, Jeff Brooks, just a couple of weeks ago.
Over 1, 2, 3. There he goes, setting up.
Oh, smart by Caleb Stills. Very smart by Caleb Stills. Just dead waiting on that powerbomb attempt by Jeff Brooks. Jeff Brooks wasn't expecting that.
Reverse DDT. 1, 2, 3.
There it is.
Stills' victories over Nick Zero and Jeff Brooks were certainly impressive, but it's been leaving all the fans of Capital Pro Wrestling to wonder who has the courage to take on Stills September 28th at the Fledge. The answer is the prodigy, Tommy Vendetta. I know that you remember him when he took the Mad Dragon Hakeem Zayn to the limit just a few short weeks ago.
Travel just off a trip to Mexico where he showcased his talents, but right now on display, Tommy Vendetta.
That was beautiful. Just very athletic, Tommy Vendetta.
Tommy Vendetta is not playing a great mind game with the Mad Dragon.
Big Frog, oh, what a clothesline.
Gets another one. Mr. Banks, the action is fast and furious. Tommy Vendetta is on a roll.
As you can see, Tommy Vendetta proving that he belongs in the ring with the best at Capital Pro Wrestling. Will he emerge victorious September 28th? You better be there in the crowd and find out. Well, there is one battle that all pro wrestling fans are looking forward to, and that is the matchup between Jack Fourvel and CJ Otis. As you might remember, on August 24th, Otis and Fourvel were due to match up. However, a scheduling conflict prevented Otis from attending that event. Instead, Otis sent his hand-picked replacement, All Might Adam Reynolds, to take on Jack Fourvel. Some people are saying that Otis might be ducking Jack Fourvel. Who am I to say? That's just the fans' conjecture. But one thing is for certain, there was a heck of a match at the Fledge that night between Fourvel and Reynolds.
Okay, to shoulder in a heartbeat.
Oh gosh, he's in a lot of pain. You're looking at that face right now. Oh, looks like Fourvel. He's got a knuckle walk applied.
Walking the tightrope up here at the Fledge in Lansing, Michigan.
Going for a triangle.
Did he get it? Did he get it?
He's tapped out. He's tapped out.
As you can see, Jack Fourvel very dangerous with that triangle. Let's see what he has to say about his upcoming match against CJ Otis.
Yeah! Jack Fourvel, big match with CJ Otis, September 28th. What are you going to do to him?
I'm the only one of us that showed up last month, but CJ shows up September 28th. That's what I'm going to do.
As you can see, Fourvel can have his opponent tied up and tapping in mere seconds. But his opponent is CJ Otis, and he is also a beast on the mat. And he has a message for Jack Fourvel.
Jack Fourvel, catch wrestling versus jiu-jitsu. You see, Jack, I know that you have a mean and nasty triangle choke. But catch wrestling, and the rule said that you're fighting me on September the 28th, that triangle choke's going to do nothing but doesn't put me out in under 3 seconds. Because all I need is the 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to pin you. Or I'm just going to break your jaw with my Schultz headlock. I'll see you there, Jack.
CJ Otis, catch wrestling specialist, is going to be taking on the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu expert Jack Fourvel live at the Fledge September 28th. This one could go the distance. It could go wire to wire, or it could end in mere seconds. But one thing's for sure, it's going to be exciting, and you're going to want to be there September 28th at the Fledge. It's time, fans, for the first ever American Lucha Libre Top 10 ranking. This ranking system takes into account a number of factors, but especially win-loss record, strength of opponent, and social media analytics to determine who the top 10 wrestlers are in American Lucha Libre. With this ranking system, it's possible for somebody to crack the top 10, even though they haven't notched a lot of victories. Number 10, Mr. Main Event. Number 9, El Ridiculoso. Number 8, The Prodigy, Tommy Vendetta. Number 7, Josh Raymond. Number 6, The Star of Destiny, George Mack. Number 5, The Mysterious Movado. Number 4, The Frogun, D-Ray 3000. Number 3, Caleb Stills. Number 2, Jack Fourvel. And coming in at number 1, the Mad Dragon, Hakeem Zane. The American Lucha Libre Top 10 ranking is going to be very important going forward. Professional wrestlers from across the Great Lakes region are going to want to be on it. It's going to be very important because the matchmaking committee is going to be using it to determine the seeding for the tournament to decide the first Great Lakes television champion. As you can see, those top spots are filled with some of the best professional wrestlers that professional wrestling has to offer. So there's going to be a lot of competition for those spots, and a lot of people are going to be gunning for those guys. So you're going to want to stay tuned to each episode of the Great Lakes Professional Wrestling Showcase and see how this shakes out.
Pro wrestling fans, Capital Pro Wrestling returns to the ring Saturday, September 28th at the Fledge. Doors open at 3 p.m. and the bell time is 3:30. We also have upcoming dates Saturday, November 9th and Saturday, December 14th, both at the Fledge. For more information, visit our social media on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and at AmericanLuchaLibre.com.
Occasionally people ask me, what's the difference between Capital Pro Wrestling, American Lucha Libre, and the Great Lakes Professional Wrestling Showcase? How do all these organizations and entities fit together? It's all really quite simple. American Lucha Libre is the sanctioning body of Capital Pro Wrestling and also other wrestling promotions the globe over. Capital Pro Wrestling is one of the premier wrestling promotions in Michigan. And the Great Lakes Professional Wrestling Showcase is a showcase for Capital Pro Wrestling and also any other promotions that are sanctioned by American Lucha Libre. If you want to get involved with American Lucha Libre and the Great Lakes Professional Wrestling Showcase, you should contact AmericanLuchaLibre@gmail.com. And welcome to the very first installment of the American Lucha Libre Mailbag, where we're going to answer some of the questions that you have about American Lucha Libre and Capital Pro Wrestling and beyond. And we're going to go to our first letter, and this is from Joe H. from Carlton, Michigan. And he says, what about the rules? When I go to a Capital Pro Wrestling show, the referee counted past 10 while the wrestlers were out of the ring. Well, Joe, I want to tell you that the American Lucha Libre sanctioning rules, they state that the wrestlers have a 20 count to return to the ring. This is the way it was for decades in professional wrestling until, relatively recently. Many American promotions moved to a 10 count when wrestlers found themselves out of the ring. But all American Lucha Libre and Capital Pro Wrestling events are steeped in tradition, and that's why you're going to see that traditional 20 count at those events. If you have any questions for a future installment of the American Lucha Libre Mailbag, please send your questions to AmericanLuchaLibre@gmail.com and be sure to put mailbag in the subject of your email. Well, wrestling fans, I want to give you an update on some important rules changes that are going to be affecting all American Lucha Libre events going forward. We're going to be instituting a time limit for all wrestling matches sanctioned by American Lucha Libre. The opening matches will have a 10-minute time limit, while the TV main event will have a 15-minute time limit. And this is going to be very important because it's going to put some pressure on these wrestlers to get a victory. We want to see this match settled with either a pinfall or a submission, and this time limit is going to put that pressure on them because they don't want to risk a draw. Remember, the American Lucha Libre top 10 ranking is at play, and everybody's going to want to do as well as they can and get those victories because they're going to count for much, much more in that ranking system. So, be on the lookout for that at future American Lucha Libre events. And as always, if there are any important rules changes, we're going to communicate them to you ahead of time, and you're going to catch them here on the Great Lakes Professional Wrestling Showcase. Well, wrestling fans, we're glad that you joined us tonight, and we're going to wrap up by running down the card for the September 28th show live at the Fledge in Lansing, Michigan. You're not going to want to miss it. Please keep in mind that the card is subject to change due to unforeseen circumstances. You will see Tommy Vendetta, the Prodigy, versus Caleb Stills. Adam Wick versus Dre Jacobs. Kevin Calloway versus the Mysterious Movado. CJ Otis versus Jack Fourvel. Billy Ray Daniels versus Big Chuck Wagon. Jack Thriller versus Jason Blossom. The Frogun versus Mikey Margugliak. And that is our main event. Also scheduled to appear, George Mack, El Ridiculoso, Cody Manning, the Mercury Brothers, and more. Remember that doors open at 3 p.m. and bell time is sharp at 3:30. Tickets are only $15 and are available on the event page at www.americanluchalibre.com and at the door. Be there. You're not going to want to miss a second of the action.